3, 2, 1. What's going on, guys? It is Derek P. Fields, aka the Gridiron Blitz. I'm in another car video. This video is kind of impromptu, man. First of all, I got to give a shout out to Dosa Dion. Dosa Dion did the research that I was saying I was going to do. Now I don't got to do it. I don't have to do it. And I just got to say, man, that I'm really proud of the young man because he was able to put all the stats and all the facts together. And I'm scrolling through his comments, and this is what I realized. So shout out to Dosa Dion, man, because that is what you did is something I haven't had time to do, and I haven't had the will to do it. And that is look through all of these numbers, all of these statistics. But you got to understand something. Looking through the comments, people are going to, Lions fans are split straight down the middle. Oh, Caldwell was not a good coach. And the thing that I say, and let me go ahead and just squash this little, well, why wasn't he hired by anyone else? There has been no former head Detroit Lions coach that has a head coaching job with another team. Now, I have not confirmed that Jim Caldwell has interviewed with the Cleveland Browns. All right. Now let's go back to the beginning because Dosa Dion was real civil. All right, but I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. Y'all gonna come in here and be like, "We still talking about Caldwell?" Yes, we are. None of us, I mean, none of us has coached in the NFL. If you have and you are subscribed to your boy, let me know. Come on to the show. Let's talk about this. That way we can talk about Jim Caldwell. Was Jim Caldwell a good coach or wasn't he? So, again, shout out to Dosa Dion. But one thing that I know is that Lions fans don't pay attention to. Y'all don't pay attention to numbers. Y'all, you know what? It's funny because being on YouTube, people will say, hey, you got to take the emotion out of football. Well, that's exactly what Dosa Dion did. Okay, he takes the emotion. And I've been screaming this for a while. I think a lot of us have. You take the emotion and you go by the stats. Period. You cannot fight numbers. That is it. I don't care. Once you start trying to fight numbers, you are then bringing in emotion. Well, saying, hey, I can't win. He couldn't win the big game. Hey, listen. The young man broke it down for you. All right? He broke it down for you. And we have been saying this. I never wanted Matt Patricia here. I was livid when they got rid of Jim Caldwell. And to me, this is called retribution. There's a thing called reaping what you sow. All right? The Lions fired a winning coach. Well, I can already see the Lions, Jim Caldwell sucked as a coach. He couldn't win the big games. He couldn't do anything. No matter how you slice it, he's a bad coach. What? I don't understand this. So I've been screaming this for months. Rasheed Wallace used to say ball don't lie. But numbers really don't lie. At the end of the day, the Minnesota Vikings beat the Saints. You know why? Because they had more on the scoreboard at the end of the day. Numbers will get you, wins will get you in the playoffs. But, and my favorite part about all of this is that none of us have coached in the NFL. Has anybody played in the NFL? Any one of my subscribers played in the NFL? If you have, come on to the show. We need to talk about it. Now, I had to make this video real quick before it got dark. I got to go pick up my little boy. And I hadn't planned to make a video. But I said, you know what, Derek? You got a platform, man. What in the world are you doing? This dude is on the... Okay, I see. Derek, you have a platform, bro. And if anybody out there wants to talk about this, you can. All you got to do is push record, post your video. That is it. That's it. Why is Jim Caldwell, why won't he go away? Because he won. You want all the statistics, go watch Dosa Dion. Jim Caldwell won, so he's not going away. Somebody wants to find, people like to find a reason. They like to find a reason. Well, and if you think about it, like I said earlier, if you say Jim Caldwell wasn't a good coach, I'm just like, well, none of us have coached in the NFL. So can you really say that he wasn't a good coach? Now, some of us may think we know everything about the NFL, but what as far as I know, none of us have coached in the NFL. Not a single Detroit YouTuber that I know has coached in the NFL. So can you really say someone's a bad coach? Why? Because you thought he should have did this? Now, there are times that a person does some questionable things. Yesterday, Sean Payton, great coach. Great coach. Okay? Doesn't call timeout after a 10-second runoff. Great coach. You can't say he's a bad coach. He made a bad decision coaching. But at the end of the day, the Saints got a Super Bowl under his watch. The Saints have double-digit wins under his watch. So, if you try to say that Caldwell wasn't a good coach, you are incorrect. You know why? Because it's the numbers. I saw something over the weekend that is just amazing to me. Mike Vrabel did something I didn't even know you could do. Okay, since we want to talk about what makes a good coach and what makes a bad coach. Coaches have coaching decisions. Now, but at the end of the day, you could be a terrible coach. Do y'all really think Matt LaFleur is as good as his record says he is? Come on, dog. Come on, man. This man went 13-3 in his rookie year, set a Green Bay rookie coaching record, if not an all-time coaching record. And y'all think that Matt LaFleur is a good coach? I mean, come on, man. This what I'm saying about fans in general. Lions fans, we all got opinions, but none of us have coached in the NFL. You think Matt LaFleur is a good coach because he went 13-3. We all know good and well that Aaron Rodgers is the boss of that team. Now, y'all going to go back and be like, well, Matthew Stafford had 8 road last-minute wins. It's called I need some gas. You have a great quarterback. You have a good player. So a good player can make a person look like a better coach. Okay? But was he a bad coach? Nah. Because the wins say that he wasn't. Did he make bad coaching decisions? Of course he did. That's what they do. But Lions fans, you know what I think, bro? This real. I think that Lions fans are super angry, man. And we have to find somebody to blame. So why not I know. And this is something I want to touch on. But I'm going to touch on it. Because nobody else wants to touch this. It's all right, so I'll touch on it. Can anybody name the last black Lions head coach? Other than Jim Caldwell. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. Now, we can all say, hey, it's not a race thing. It might not be. Okay? But think about this. The NFL had to put in a Rooney rule for minority coaches to be interviewed, which is dumb to me. Do you think Marvin Lewis had any chance to be the Dallas head coach for the Dallas Cowboys? You think he had any possibility on the planet? But let's bring in the token black guy to get an interview so we can meet our quota. I'm not saying Bob Quinn fired Jim Caldwell because of his race. What I'm saying is if you look through the head coaching positions, how many are held by a minority? And I am including Ron Rivera. there are times that we have to face the reality. And the reality is that I think the Lions fans are angry because, real talk, what would you do if they won? We're so mad. We are angry that we cannot get a winning product on the field. So we got to find somebody to blame. Oh, because I have yet to see a breakdown. Here's what I want somebody to do. Somebody who watches this video, do a breakdown on why Jim Caldwell was a bad coach. I want you to go through plays, and because see, I am the prosecution, or I'm sorry, you're the prosecution. I'm the defense. Okay, I'm the defense, and I'm defending Jim Caldwell. I'm defending his record. Okay, so as the prosecution, I want you to go through, all right, and I want you to break down why Jim Caldwell was a bad coach. Now keep this in mind. When you go through it, you also have to keep in mind other bad coaches as well. You know who was a bad coach? Marty Morningway. He was a bad coach. We don't even talk about Rod Marinelli the way we talk about Jim Caldwell. This is the first. Just think about what y'all saying, guys. Think about what y'all saying. We don't even bring up Rod Marinelli. We don't even bring up Matt Millen anymore. We forgot all about him. All our attention is on Jim Caldwell and how he was a bad coach. But yet nobody has sat here and broke it down and said, well, how? Because he didn't call a timeout here, or he didn't do this there. Bill Belichick is a good coach. He does things that I've never seen. He also has the wins to back it up. He also had a great quarterback and a great system. Mike Vrabel ran 2 minutes off the clock, beat his former head coach in a rule that I didn't even know existed. Those of you who watched the game know that Mike Vrabel did. I'm like, how do you know this stuff? How do you know this stuff? How do you know that over 5 minutes in the fourth quarter, you can take you can take a false start penalty, but you can't take 2 in a row. Okay? And the clock will continue to run. So you take a false start. No, you take a delay of game, but you can't take 2 in a row. So you then take a false start. And the Patriots, one of their players, jumps off sides. Man, that thing makes a lot of noise. So then guess what? He gets to start all over. You can do that before 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, under 5 minutes, it doesn't work anymore. Burned off 1 minute and 43 seconds that Tom Brady did not have in his hands. Those are, wow, that sounds like he's going to be a good coach. Or he could just made a really, really, really good coach's decision. Because if you give Tom Brady 2 minutes and 10 seconds, he can go down the field and get a last second field goal, go up by 2. So I challenge anybody out there, YouTube creator or not, don't come in the comments talking about you guys are idiots. If you think Caldwell was a good coach, you're an idiot. I want you, use your platform. If you're a YouTuber, break it down why he was a bad coach. If you're not a YouTuber, you can email me at thegridironblitz@yahoo.com, and I will read on air why he was a bad coach by you. Okay? I think Lions fans who have never coached in the NFL want to turn away from something they didn't like this about Jim Caldwell. Do you think I don't like the fact that Matthew Stafford is not very vocal on the sidelines. I'm not going to say he's a bad quarterback. What Matthew Stafford does not have is the wins in the playoffs. A playoff win. That's literally it. He's got winning seasons. He's got every Lions record. He's youngest player to get to 40,000 yards. But what he does not have is wins. And at the end of the day, that will mess him up. Sean Payton, good coach, won Super Bowl. What is all of that? Something. So as I'm losing my light, and I had to get on, because when I get home, I'm not going to have time to make this. But I just wanted to give a shout out to Dosa Dion, all right, for being a young man that thinks. Because at the end of the day, let me just put it like this. Let's say you go to work, right? You go to work, and you're supposed to make $20 an hour. So you work 80 hours a week. You get your paycheck. $20 an hour, 80 hours a week. If your paycheck is short, you're going to have something to say. You did the same amount of work. Okay? It's something in my... You did the same amount of work, but you got paid. You noticed that your check was short. Why? Because you paying attention to them numbers. Them numbers is what's up. All right? You're going to pay attention to the numbers. And the numbers say that whether you liked it or not, Jim Caldwell was not the bad coach that everybody is making him be because of a play call here or a bad play call there. Everybody's imperfect. Everybody makes decisions. Have you thought about what it's like to be an NFL coach? To have pressure. We just saw Josh Allen break down under the big city lights of a playoff game. The dumbest thing I've ever seen. Toss a ball because he thought it was the Buffalo Miracle. I don't know what he was doing. He lateraled a ball for no reason. So do I think Matt Patricia's a bad coach? I think that Matt Patricia's numbers right now, you can't say he's a good coach. But I don't understand how a coach that has, he inherited this team. Well, what exactly did Matt Patricia inherit? If he was a bad coach, as everybody likes to say, he would have inherited a good team and made that team worse, except he made it better. And you don't have to take my word for it, like LeVar Burton, man. Reed and Rainbow. You don't got to take my word for it. The record shows it is. But when you do numbers and when you look at numbers, then that's one thing you can't deny. Numbers don't lie. They don't. I'm trying to figure out what this fool is doing. Driving in the hood, man. And yeah, I still got the same sweater on. I just threw it on to go get my boy. Supposed to be going to the washing machine. So, shout out to Dosa Dion, man, for putting in the work that, quite frankly, I didn't feel like doing. And y'all know me, man. I'm all about numbers. That's what I do. I am all about numbers because numbers tell a story. I'm all about numbers, man, because numbers tell a story. And like anything else in life, numbers are something you can't deny. You can't deny the numbers. So I appreciate y'all. Appreciate Dosa Dion for putting in the hard work. And bro, listen, you can't care about if people are going to dislike videos and stuff like this. You put yourself out there in front of other people. You have a YouTube channel, you've got videos. People are going to dislike. If they don't agree with what you have to say, YouTube gave them the power to dislike a video. And a lot of people want to feel big. That's like they don't want to get on camera and put their thoughts on camera. They don't want to do that, which I encourage anybody to do. If you need some help, I'm here. Me, Travis, I'm sure Deanna help too. We will help y'all, Star Jones. You put yourself out there. Put yourself out there, all right, and talk your stuff on camera so that people can come in your comments and tell you how much of an idiot you are. So that people can tell you that they know more than you. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand. But then again, I do. It's just the way people are. So, Deion, keep doing the right thing. There's a dude in the middle of the street right now dancing. I believe he's holding a cup. I think that's a dude. Hey, take care of yourself, guys, and each other. Because it's some, be aware of your surroundings, man. That fool was dancing in the street, then he just stopped. So anyway, one pride, you know it's all love. You know we family, but not everybody, and I'm not saying that I'm right. All I'm saying is that the numbers, I look at the numbers, man. That's it. I don't know if Jim Carr, I didn't know that there was a rule in place that lets you run off the clock, like consecutive penalties. I didn't know that. I'm not a coach in the NFL, and I don't know anybody that is a subscriber of mine that is. So please stop saying that this man was a bad coach. If you didn't like him, that's fine. But a bad coach, the numbers say otherwise. But shout out to Dodd for doing all that work, man. Appreciate you, man. Because I did not feel like doing that. But you came through for your boy, and I appreciate that, man. Very good video. Very informative. But people don't like to hear what I realized, man. People don't like to hear the truth. Once a man said, you can't handle the truth. And he was right. Lions fans don't want to hear the truth. They want to make excuses about injuries and things like that when that's not an excuse. Even Bob Quinn was making excuses. Oh, we had 16 people on IR, and you know other teams have like 9 or 10, but 16, that's a lot. So he was basically saying, hey, 16 guys, it's hard to win with 16. Cut me some slack, because I don't want to be a bad GM. Although statistically, you're shaping up to be a bad GM, Bob Quinn. Okay, so shout out to everybody, man. Appreciate y'all. Come back with the smoke. Come back with the heat. Don't come back too smoky now, because I don't want to have to put you on that block list. Shout out to Big Daddy's Chronicles, a.k.a. Eric, a Lions fan. Shout out to Mondo Ray Moore, Sports Movement Network, and everybody else, man. Look, we tired. We tired of our off season starting in September. You know what I'm saying? And I think that Lions fans are inherently frustrated with one another, so we can't even voice our opinion, even if our opinion is based on fact. And the fact of the matter is, just wins are what it's all about. We're sitting here yelling about who's a good coach and who's a bad coach when Matt LaFleur is sitting up there with 13 wins in his first season because he got one of the greatest quarterbacks of our generation. But I challenge anybody in the comments to tell me that Matt LaFleur is a good coach. With that being said, I've talked long enough. This video is going to be a nightmare to upload. And I will see y'all later, man. Appreciate y'all. Food for thought, man. Think about what we're saying, guys. Take your emotion out of it and use numbers. All right. Peace. Try not to die here.